Imagine this. Your husband walks through the front door of the home you built together, his arm wrapped around a woman half his age, her hand resting proudly on a very visible baby bump. He looks you dead in the eye and says, "She's moving in. Starting tonight. We're going to be a family now." No screaming. No tears. I just stood there in our living room, arms crossed, and watched his smug little victory smile spread across his face like he'd finally beaten me at something. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't have to. I simply tilted my head and asked one calm question. "Have you read Clause 14 of the prenup lately?" His smile froze. Before we continue with this video, please like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell for updates. Have you ever looked at a couple and thought, they've got it all figured out? That was us. Marcus and Elena, power couple goals. We met at a charity gala 8 years ago. He was the charming finance guy with big dreams. I was the marketing executive who could close any deal. We built a beautiful life, 5-bedroom house in the suburbs, trips to Santorini, no kids because we both loved our freedom too much. He insisted on the prenup before the wedding. "It's just smart business, babe," he said with that easy grin. "Protects us both." I signed without a second thought. Our lawyer added some strong clauses. I barely skimmed them. Looking back, the red flags were there. Late nights at the office. Sudden conferences in other cities. Texts he'd tilt the phone away from me. I ignored them, because the life looked perfect. Until one ordinary Saturday afternoon, the front door opened and perfection shattered. Picture the scene, Saturday, 3:17 p.m. I'm folding laundry in the kitchen when the front door swings open. Marcus strides in like he owns the place, which technically he still did. Right behind him, Sophia, 28, glowing, 7 months pregnant, one hand protectively on her belly, the other tucked into the crook of his arm. He stops in the middle of our living room, turns to me with that same winning grin from our wedding photos, and says, "Babe, meet Sophia. She's moving in. Starting right now." Sophia gives a little wave, all sweetness. We're going to be one big, happy family. My heart slammed against my ribs, so hard I thought it might crack them. But my face? Stone. I set the laundry basket down slowly. No yelling. No dramatic throw. I just looked at him, really looked, and smiled. Small. Sharp. "I hope you brought a lawyer," I said. His grin flickered. Just for a second. But it was enough. Ever watch someone's entire reality crack in real time? Marcus laughed at first, that nervous, dismissive chuckle he used when he thought he still had control. "What are you talking about?" he said, glancing at Sophia like she'd back him up. She just blinked, confused. I walked to the study, pulled the slim black folder from the drawer where it had sat untouched for years, and returned. Opened it. Flipped to page 7. Clause 14. I read aloud, voice steady as glass. "Infidelity resulting in pregnancy or birth outside the marriage triggers forfeiture of 70% of all joint marital assets, plus a one-time lump sum payment to the non-breaching spouse equivalent to 5 years' average income." Silence. Thick. Heavy. He'd skimmed the prenup back then. I called it standard lawyer stuff. Our attorney hadn't skimmed. He'd made it bulletproof. Sophia's hand slid off her belly. Her glow dimmed. Marcus swallowed hard. "Elena, come on. We can talk about this." I met his eyes. "What part of forfeiture didn't you understand? What happens when the man who thought he'd rewritten the rules suddenly realizes the rules were never his to change?" Marcus's voice cracked. "What does Clause 14 actually say?" he whispered, like saying it quieter would make it less real. I didn't hesitate. I read it again, slower this time, every word landing like a hammer. 70% gone. Lump sum due within 30 days. Assets frozen, pending divorce filing. Proof of infidelity. The pregnancy timeline alone was enough. Our lawyer had already explained that years ago. Sophia's face drained of color. She stepped back, hand clutching her belly like it could shield her from what was coming. Marcus started rambling. "Elena, please. Be reasonable. We can work this out. For old time's sake." The same man who'd paraded his pregnant girlfriend into our home 10 minutes earlier. Reasonable. I almost laughed. Instead, I closed the folder with a soft snap. Look around, Marcus. This house? Still mine. The accounts? Still protected. His eyes darted to Sophia, then back to me, desperate now. She finally spoke, voice small. What are we supposed to do? I met her gaze.
Calm.
Unbreakable. That's between you and the man who promised you forever. And just like that, his world finished collapsing. So, how does a marriage built on promises end with one sentence? Marcus left that afternoon. No dramatic exit, just quiet defeat. He packed a single suitcase while Sophia waited in the car, staring at the house like it had betrayed her too. The lawyers handled the rest. Assets frozen. Divorce filed the next week. 70% of everything we'd built, gone to me. The lump sum hit his account like a slap he couldn't dodge. He tried one last call. Elena, we can still fix this. I didn't pick up. Sometimes the calmest response is the deadliest weapon. Protect yourself. Always. Prenups aren't just paper, they're armor. If you've ever been blindsided by someone you trusted, tell me in the comments. Like if this hit home. Subscribe for more stories where the underdog wins. Because next time, it gets even wilder.